Hey guys, welcome back. It's Redox. Thanks again for joining me here with another CNC Rivals video. And I've just unlocked the Disruptor, which is this guy right here. And this unit is a very powerful tech lab, anti-infantry, and also anti-building unit. If you have a lot of disruptors, you can shred the enemy base rather quickly if your opponent lets you do it. And also, they can absolutely destroy and wreck any infantry units that get into range of this thing. This thing is dangerous against infantry and building types. Unfortunately, the speed is the biggest problem of this unit. It's very slow, and being very slow makes it rather difficult to use when you're trying to control launch pads with this unit, as other opponent units that are faster can tile block it and capture the missile, and you'll lose the game, of course, if that happens. And also, it's rather expensive. Of course, being a tech lab unit, it is not a very cheap unit to use. But anyways, we're going to use the Disruptor, and I thought the MLRS would be a nice partner for it because they both have a 2-tile range. So I'm really trying to focus on abusing the 2-tile range with these units. It takes a lot of micro, and you need to really understand how to use these units, because of course, if you don't take care of your MLRS and your Disruptor properly, your opponent will get right into its face and they're gonna die. So I'm bringing some cheap light units to support these two units, which is the Pitbull War Dog, the Missile Squad, and the Rifleman. So let's see how this army composition works out, and hopefully we get some awesome Disruptor action in this video.
Pushing battlefield control.
Okay, this will be the first game, guys. Our opponent is not with Commander Jade. We're gonna go right into a Harvester from the start. And because I have a War Dog and I have a Rifleman, I can either start off with any of the buildings, use either of them as a scout. Now, usually you don't want to bring the War Dog and the Rifleman in the same composition, just because they do kind of the same thing, and there's really no point of doing it. But we're going to build a Rifleman now, because he's got a lot of course, a lot of laser squads here, and Riflemen do a great job at taking them out. We're going to try to sneak in a Pitbull as well, to kind of, if we can take down that Harvester, it'll be really nice. So that's what we're going to try to do. All his laser squads, keep in mind, they're distracted. Now he sees my Pitbull. He's most likely going to build some extra laser squads here. But because we have a Disruptor, of course, we would ideally want to get a tech lab as quick as we can. And tech labs costing a lot, of course, means that we are going to want to get this up soon, so we get a Disruptor. He has a lot of infantry units as well. Now he's going to get the first missile, which I am okay with. I kind of just wanted to let him have the missile because I wanted to get this up as quick as I can. I'm going to build more Riflemen. Now he may have a very strong, oh my goodness, and the Catalyst Missile is going to kill my Disruptor, unfortunately. That was a good trade on his part. And I'm gonna have to wait for another Disruptor, as I didn't bring any shockwaves. That's kind of the weakness, because I don't have a very cheap, very strong anti-infantry counter, which would be the shockwave. We are going to build some extra Pitbulls as the attack bikes are coming through now, and we're gonna try to take out those flame squads as best as we can with our Pitbulls with the attack bikes, and the Disruptors should be able to take out those infantry units. We're gonna save up for another Disruptor, as he's having some more. Definitely, he's bringing in some more laser squads here, as you guys can see. And you can see the Disruptor absolutely destroys infantry units. We're gonna build some extra MLRSs. He's transitioning into vehicle units. We can see that right now. And I think he might try to go on the bottom side here, but the MLRS is going to get set up. We're going to get our 2-tile range units up here, and he may have a Temple of Nod, which I'm not really sure of right now. And he's going to try to snipe my Disruptor here, and I think he will, unfortunately. And we're going to see if we can get a Harvester snipe here. Where's his Harvester? Oh, he doesn't have a Harvester at all. Wow, I did not realize that. Let's back out. I thought he had a Harvester. Now we're gonna get our Disruptors rolling, and you can see just how devastating these Disruptors are against infantry units, especially against laser squads and even flame squads, anything like that. But of course, if this laser squads do get really close to your Disruptor, look, he almost actually took out my Disruptor there, and we're still doing a great job. I'm gonna build another Disruptor here, guys. And we're going to move the Disruptor across. You didn't have the harvester up the whole time, and I've got a good economy running. Seems like he might have just wanted to go for no harvester build here, which does work. Just because he had probably a relatively cheap army. He did not have any, I mean, I didn't see any Temple of Nod units or didn't see any attempt at him going for that. So he most likely just relied on the unit advantage. Of course, if you don't have a harvester, you get to have an extra unit over your opponent that can fight on the battlefield. But as you guys saw there, the Disruptor was just absolutely amazing at demolishing any infantry types. And they do relatively stand up well against things like attack bikes or pit bulls, but they will lose eventually if you don't support those disruptors with anti-vehicle weaponry, of course. But that one catalyst missile is very good on his side, sniping one of my disruptors. That was a good play for him.
Establishing battlefield control.
Alright, this will be the second game, and we finally got a GDI opponent. And I haven't faced a GDI opponent in a while here. We're going to start off once again with another harvester, and I'm going to go into a war dog once again. This guy might be a war factory player, so going into a rifleman would not be the greatest idea. And no, he is a jump jet trooper player, so I would ideally want to get a rifleman. Hey, now he makes a mistake. He thinks, I think he tried to go for a harvester rush here, but as you guys see, my harvester's on the bottom side. And I'm going to get a rifleman up now, and he's going to try to bring his guy around. That's my guess. We're going to build another rifleman, and the great thing about riflemen is that they counter these guys so well. These jump jets are pretty much screwed against riflemen. They can't do very much. And I think he's got a harvester. Okay, he did have a harvester for a while. We're going to go for an MLRS now. And the MLRS will get protected very well against these jump jets. And you'll see these MLRS doing a fantastic job at dealing with these war dogs, which is what we're gonna see now. I'm just gonna go for a lot of MLRSs right now, and that turret from Lieutenant Armstrong goes down immediately. I've got the war factory unit advantage here. As he's not really going for anti-vehicle weaponry right now, as we can see, and even if he builds jump jet troopers, which were probably his most, which was probably what he was gonna go into. Oh, he's gonna go into his own MLRS now, and my MLRS will take that down in one shot. We're gonna build a tech lab and see if he goes for any infantry units, and any of those light vehicle units that come close to my MLRS will die. And now he decides to go for one of those shockwaves. So you know what we're gonna do? He's gonna move a harvester down on the bottom side. Let's move our rifleman on the top. We're gonna have to start capturing the launch pads. Let's go for one disruptor to deal with any of those shockwaves, of course. And we do really need to take out a lot of these units here. Now, the shockwave probably wasn't the best idea, as actually I need to get units onto the launch pad, and he's going to actually do a better job, unfortunately, than me, which kind of is unfortunate. And now I'm kind of losing ground here. Now, so I should have probably not went for that disruptor here. I should have went for the MLRS. And I'm going to focus these pit bulls down individually here. And pit bulls will do relatively well against, especially he is at level 8. So it is going to do relatively well against the disruptor here. But it will go down to my MLRSs. That was really unfortunate. Now I kind of gave my opponent a chance to come back here just because I did give him the first missile. So we're going to continuously build these MLRSs. He's going to continuously just try to capture his launch pad with his war dogs. So this is kind of a funny looking game. Now he's getting his own MLRS set up. We do have to take down that MLRS first. Yes, and we do take it out before it does take out my guys here. So it's going to be a battle of who gets to set up their MLRS first, as you guys see right now. And I'm getting my MLRS set up as best as I can here. Here we go. We have to get this missile here, and because now I've got all these anti-vehicle weaponry here on the map, he's not going to be able to get this, and we've got it all secured. He's just trying to use that same old trick, sending those cheap, fast-moving war dogs up here to see if he can get those launch pads. And he does have one MLRS now. Okay, we're going to have to secure this position as best as we can. This is going to be a battle of the long-range units. I'm actually having fun with this battle here, and ooh, now my disruptor's gotta kill. Yo, what's my disruptor doing? Okay, my disruptor's gotta get it. Kill those jump jets. Oh my goodness, that is not good. Now he's bringing in a load of jump jets. He knows I have too much MLRS on the battlefield here. But I pretty much got the missile secured, as he didn't have any units on the southern launch pad. And that transition for him into the jump jet definitely was good, but of course I would have built a couple more disruptors there and then would have countered them, but then he would have probably went into MLRS again. So you can see this is a very this was a very interesting battle for sure, where we kind of had the same unit composition. He had the MLRSs and War Dogs, but I got my anti-vehicle unit up first, and also I had the Rifleman, which protected my MLRS early on from his jump jets, which would have decimated my MLRSs. MLRSs would die instantly to jump jets. So had I not brought Riflemans and I just had War Dogs, his jump jets would have simply overwhelmed my War Dogs and my MLRS, enabling him to transition into his MLRSs and then dominate the map. So you can see the Rifleman and the MLRS really synergize very well. And then having the extra Disruptor is just kind of like a bonus, but the Disruptor is not necessary. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the third game.
Establishing battlefield control.
Alright, the third game, another GDI opponent with General Solomon. I'm starting to see more of these Solomons here in the Diamond League for sure, as more players are unlocking them. We're going to go into a Harvester here, and I'm going to go into War Dogs once again. I just feel like the War Dog is slightly safer to start off against GDI players, and I'm kind of curious as to see what he's going to go for, maybe a double Harvester or whatnot. I don't want to build a barrack yet, and that was a good choice on mine because, of course, building a barrack isn't going to do much against shockwaves, as my only anti-infantry are going to be shockwaves. War Dogs are much better at dealing with these shockwaves. He's mostly likely going to go for either vehicle units, or I'm not really sure what he's going to go for right now. I'm going to build an MLRS and try to see if I can snipe that, and maybe I can get an early Disruptor. He's got a Pit Bull, which is, of course, great against War Dogs, and we're going to take that down. So he's got a War Factory, I know that for sure. And this is one of those maps that is pretty good for MLRSs actually. He's trying to avoid that thing getting sniped. And let's see if we can get that set up on our side here. Ooh, the MLRS. I was trying to get the Pit Bull. We should be able to get that. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to get a Tech Lab up here on our side. And we're going to get a Disruptor up as soon as we can here, of course. And we're going to move that Disruptor here once again onto the top. We're going to build a barrack. He's really trying to hold his Harvester. He's really trying to save his Harvester as best as he can. Actually, that barrack was not necessary. I could have just went for a Disruptor, so that was kind of a misplay. I delayed the building time of my Disruptor here, and my Disruptor should be able to take care of these missile squads and these infantry units. We're going to go for some more MLRSs, because usually having... We're going to do a little roundabout here. Yo, Disruptor, come on, MLRS set up! My MLRS is just not setting up quickly enough. Oh, these MLRS coming up! We gotta take that down. Of course, we're at the same level, so we should be fine. I'm gonna build another Disruptor here, and we should be able to hold on to this. Maybe. Oh, let's build a Colonel Jackson. No, not Colonel Jackson. Lieutenant Armstrong's turret here. He's got a prayer tank coming up, but that thing's gonna roll too slowly. And I got two Disruptors here. I'm coming up with a third one. And we win the game, boys. There we go, guys. Another fantastic game using the 2-tile range of the MLRS and the Disruptor here to win us the game. We had a little bit of the roundabout chase in the middle there with the Pit Bull and the Disruptor with the MLRS. That was a really fun game to play once again. These three games in this video definitely were very interesting to play, and you can see the power of the Disruptor. If you can get it out and your opponent has a lot of infantry units, it will do a lot. But I feel like the Disruptor is, while it's a very powerful unit, because its speed is slow and you do need to have a Tech Lab up, I feel like the Shockwave Trooper actually is just enough because it's cheaper and it's faster to build. So to be honest, you probably don't need the Disruptor, but the Disruptor is something nice to have if you can pump it out. And as long as you have the right type of army, as long as you build it at the right time, you're going to do well with a Disruptor, because it is still a very strong anti-infantry unit. And if you can also base rush with against your opponent's base, which wasn't something I could do because it's very hard to pull off when you're in the higher leagues. Players are going to know how to stop that. But if you can get a Disruptor out on the battlefield, any infantry units are going to be decimated, and you can support it with vehicle units and cheap anti-infantry units as well to fight against jump jets and things like that. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it once again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like as well. As always, I really do appreciate you guys checking out my video, and I'll see you guys next time.